Hello everyone, we are doing our best of 2020 and this is we're doing a top 10 of our favorite movies of 2020, movies that we watched this year for the first time.
Harder than all the other lists.
It was harder. We also watched a lot and there were a lot of movies that were maybe you had seen before and I hadn't and we watched it, or I had seen it before and you hadn't and we watched it.
This was definitely, you had to keep track of exactly what you watched this year.
Yeah, we watched a lot of movies this year. So these are the ones that made it onto our top 10, the ones that we saw for the first time in 2020. And they're actually a good deal of mine, strangely, especially for me, that we don't actually own yet. That we are still haven't had copies yet.
We own all of mine.
Yeah, because this year, again, was a very comfort food year. If you saw our video game and our book, movie,
I'm sure for everybody, like this was a very comfort food year.
So one thing that I was doing was I was catching up on all those Marvel movies.
Because you haven't seen.
I hadn't seen. The last one I had seen was the first Avengers movie, the Joss Whedon one. That was the last one I'd seen.
Something else.
Not since then. That was
I think you'd seen
earlier
something
ones.
else randomly.
Not earlier ones, not later than that.
I don't know.
That was the most recent one I had seen.
So he,
there are
like,
a bunch.
binged.
I watched them all. So there are a few at the bottom of my top 10 that actually made the list, like a bunch of Marvel movies, because I watched
make
like
people so angry.
12 Marvel movies. Yeah, because everyone has their strong opinions. But so those are ones that I watched on Disney Plus, and we got it. So some of the Marvel movies, again, we didn't own most of them yet. So my first couple, I don't have anything to show because we watched them on Disney Plus. But my number 10 is Thor Ragnarok, which I thought was much better than the first two Thor movies. I thought it was very funny, had a great sense of style to it. I think was one of the better Marvel movies. So Thor Ragnarok is my number 10 for the year.
My number 10 was this stupid movie that he wanted to watch before bed the one night. And I was like, do we have to watch this? But we did.
Number 10, and it was not a stupid movie. It was not a stupid movie.
If we hadn't been married, it wouldn't have been funny.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I
feel like if you're married or you're in a relationship for a long time, this is a funny movie.
Plus, I'm a huge fan of I Love Lucy, and your mother is a big fan of I Love Lucy.
We watched I Love Lucy growing up a lot.
I watch it all the time.
The long trailer.
Yes,
I'd never
Lucy
heard of this.
Yeah.
I had no idea what this was. It's funny.
I was laughing my ass off the entire time.
Part of it was the experience together because you didn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
You were just like hysterical the whole time. This is really funny. It actually does hold up, which is surprising.
Really well, yeah.
It's really funny about marriage and newlyweds, and it's just
that's what I'm looking to get on DVD and Laserdisc at some point. I enjoyed it that much.
This is a really funny movie.
Yeah, great movie.
I think it's better than some of the I Love Lucy because it is more like refreshing almost. I feel like sometimes I Love Lucy gets in like a rut where it's the same old thing with her just doing things.
But it's great.
Really good movie.
My number 8 is the first Ant-Man, which
your number 9.
Or 9 is Ant-Man. Number 9 is the first Ant-Man, which I loved. I love that it's just kind of a heist movie. Because so many of those Marvel movies, especially because I watched so many in a short span of time, they got kind of overbearing with the stakes always had to be so high, like end of the world high, every movie. And you don't always need that. Sometimes when you actually make it a little more simple, you tone it down a little bit, it can actually be a better experience. It
was very funny.
I loved it. I like Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's great. I mean, great humor. I like that it was just a kind of a heist movie. It tied into stuff later on that was much bigger, but by itself, that was my number 9 for the year.
My number 9 is...
I can't believe that's in your top 10.
Shut up. So, I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a love named Will Ferrell.
Yes, Will Ferrell is...
I love Will Ferrell.
Amanda's Will Ferrell section on our movie
I do have a section of Will Ferrell. I love him, and I think part of the reason I really like this is because I hadn't seen it and I had no idea that it existed, so it was like exciting for me.
One of the lesser known ones,
there was a Will Ferrell movie I hadn't seen and I was really happy about it. This is Kicking and Screaming. Definitely not one of his most amazing ones, but still really funny and
very stupid funny. We wanted a lot a this year.
Yeah, this is a 2020.
This was the good year. Yeah, it was a good year for it. Different.
But I love Will Ferrell. I love him so much, and I had to have another one in the collection, so I was very happy about that.
Yes. So then my number 8 is then Ant-Man and Wasp, which again some people liked it a little more or less than the other one. I liked it a little bit more because I thought it built off of it, and of course then immediately became a part of what would be like Endgame and stuff like that. But I really liked it, so that's why
I think the humor was also.
I loved it. Yeah.
The humor was on point.
The Ant-Man ones are some of my favorite Marvel movies. I just like those because some people I think take them too seriously. Like they act like they're like the level of drama of some like all-time like classic movies, and like they're great. They're a lot of fun, but they're not, you know, like cinema masterpieces. Yeah, they're great. They're fun, but so I enjoy those more ones that have a little more fun. So for you,
My number 8 was a very surprising one for me. It was one of our canon films that we watched.
yes, check out that video. If you haven't seen it. I think it turned out really great.
This one I thought was going to be one of the worst ones. I went into it thinking it was going to be horrible, and I loved everything about this one. It was just so funny. The mother is just
Fantastic.
oh my gosh, and the little girl is the same little girl as in the Snow White, which
Which is your favorite? Yeah.
I love her. The little boy is just amazing. It's Hansel and Gretel. This is a 3-pack, but this one right here, Hansel and Gretel from Canon Films. Just a beautiful movie. Just amazing.
One of the best ones. Yeah, I do agree.
Really
one of the best
good.
ones. These two we actually had to buy because they weren't on Disney Plus.
Oh my god.
So my next two ones we had to go and buy. So those we actually do own these ones. My number 7
do have
is
some.
We have a
small
handful,
collection
but
of
we're
them so
slowly
far.
putting them all together. My number 7 is Spider-Man: Far From Home, which I really enjoyed. I've always enjoyed Spider-Man in general, especially like the '90s cartoon. I thought this was great. I'm looking forward to a third one, and all the rumors of what they're going to be doing with the third one I think could be fantastic. So this was, again, just I like the ones that are really fun, superhero romps, great humor. I like the ones that have more of a
This is very
humorous tone.
real though. I
Yes.
feel like
Yeah,
he's
it's
a very
more-
real character.
little,
I really
yeah. It's a little more
I think
grounded in
he's
some ways.
adorable.
I like it, so that was really good.
He's so
I like that
cute.
one.
This one came up on Hulu one night, and I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, when you're looking and you just like pick something,
Yeah.
and I ended up really liking it, which was weird. And I don't know.
I think you made me watch it.
I
and
made
I didn't think
him
I was
watch
gonna
it.
like it, but I liked it too. Not like a top 10, but I liked it for the year. Yeah, it was
Forgetting
good.
Sarah Marshall.
That's
This
funny.
is- I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. I was very happy with the ending. I thought like it was gonna go in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
more, but it didn't, and it was really good, very funny. And I hate this guy usually, and I enjoyed him. So
So for me, my number 6 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. I thought it was a great new adaptation of the Spider-Man character. I mean, there's been so many different ones.
With Batman.
You know, you have the Sam Raimi trilogy, the more recent ones which were awful, I think, and this was sort of a return to form. So I really like that one. One of my favorite Marvel
I think the
movies.
casting is amazing. With
Yeah, the
Spider-Man.
casting was great. That really worked out. But yeah, this is just one of my favorite Marvel movies. My number 6 for the year.
Okay, mine's kind of a Marvel movie.
This was a
There's-
lot more fun than I
there's-
thought, actually. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
somebody from
Yeah,
Marvel
Hawkeye's in there, yeah.
this, so it counts. This is such an Amanda movie.
It really
This
is.
is
Yeah.
such
You have to
an
like a
Amanda
certain
movie.
type of movie from a certain type of
So
time to like this.
I really enjoy, like, is it like early 2000s?
Early 2000s,
like,
yeah.
The like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Brothers Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
I love those movies. They're fantastic. And this is in the same vein. It's Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
That's like Van Helsing.
Van
the
Helsing's
Underworld
amazing.
Movies,
Yeah,
like, if you like all those
but
type of movies, yeah.
This is in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of the same like special effects and prosthetics and things, and this is fantastically funny. I really enjoyed this. It's very funny. It's
it was
very
fun, too.
vulgar
Yeah,
though,
it was-
so
yeah.
not for children.
Yeah,
This
you
is
have to
not
be a
for children.
certain frame of mind to like that
But
type
it's
of movie. Yeah.
I love this type of genre, and this is just like a more adult version
Yeah.
than like, because I think those are like PG-13. And I think this is R. I want to say
I have no idea.
yes, this is R. This has to be R for what happens in it. This is R.
Yeah, it was
But
fun for what it was.
Really
yeah.
fun movie. I would definitely recommend it.
The fact that he has like diabetes from Hansel from eating the candy from the house, like it was
I
just
love it.
funny.
Love
Like
it.
it's
It's great.
goofy, like stupid, goofy fun. Like it's great for that type of thing. My number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the second one. I really like that much more than the other ones because again, like I like stuff like the Marvel movies as well, but a superhero movie is not necessarily my favorite type of movie. But the Guardians of the Galaxy one stood out to me because they also work as a decent sci-fi movies. With the first
Yeah.
two like standalone before they get into their hair characters in the larger picture, they work. I'm a big sci-fi nut, so they work as fun sci-fi movies and as good Marvel comic book style movies. So I really like those.
They're very Firefly to me. Like
Some-
they're like
I guess,
space
honestly,
western type
yeah.
thing.
But
Like they just
I really
seem
like
very.
this. So Guardians of the
cowboy.
Galaxy 2 is my number 5.
My number
You know,
5.
I would have loved this if the first time I saw this I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, this isn't.
Would've loved
This is
it.
not as good as I'm putting it a lot higher
yeah,
than
it's
it
not a
should be.
super awesome movie, but
Like, this is for baby Amanda.
Yeah.
This is for her. Because I would have been obsessed with this. This would have been like my thing. And like we have found a couple of the books in the series, and I can't wait to read it. And I'm not gonna like it as much as like I should, but like Baby Amanda, like it's nostalgic in a way.
It's like a kid's thing.
Yeah, this is nostalgic, even though I had never seen it.
Yeah, how's that feel?
It's Inkheart with Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
I love him. But it's such like a beautiful fantasy story, and I love it. It's just, I would have loved this. And same thing with you. Like, we would have loved this if we were kids. Yeah. Like, I wish this came out, if it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, we were kids, yeah. And then my number 4 is the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I just liked it, but that's actually my favorite Marvel movie, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, same thing. I think
the first one's better than the second.
I really like it. And again, I like it just as a sci-fi, comic booky sci-fi movie, not necessarily just a Marvel movie, even though it gets that
again, casted really well.
Yeah, great cast. So that was my number 4. Your number 4?
My number 4 is very special. It's very special because we saw it in theaters in 2020.
Yeah, that's the only movie.
This is the only movie we saw in theaters in 2020. Yeah. And it was like, it was just, we went out with some friends.
Yeah.
We went to lunch, and we saw a movie.
Yeah, just a
and like
breath of fresh air, kind of.
I kind of want to cry thinking about it now. That's such like a beautiful thing. And I hope someday we can do that again. But Sonic the Hedgehog.
Much better than I thought. Much better.
First of all, we had to see this movie because they fixed it.
Yeah. Well,
whether that was a publicity stunt
and
or...
And because you love Sonic.
I love Sonic.
And we both are big fans of the Genesis era.
Sonic.
And, yeah.
So I was excited to see it. Then they fixed it and they made him look like Sonic. Very happy about that. Had to support it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad we saw this because if we hadn't, we wouldn't have these wonderful memories of going out with friends for some food and there's no masks. It was a beautiful,
it was just a fun movie.
Time.
It was just a good time.
This was a really good movie.
Very family friendly, fun, good time. And when we bought this, the digital code to your brother out in Colorado. And our nephew, now this is his favorite movie.
This is his favorite movie, and
so
he loves it, which is awesome
love,
because he's going to be a hardcore kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Good kid.
It's such a good love letter to Sonic, I feel
it's just a great fun, it's just like those, you just have fun with it. It's like watching like a little Disney movie or something. It's just relaxing, fun, just joyous experience. And then my number 3 was a movie that I had not seen more than, like, I saw like a couple scenes of before, but I'd never seen in full until this year. And it stars one of my favorite actresses, Audrey Hepburn, and I just had not ever come across a copy of this movie. The fantastic How to Steal a Million, the Twilight Times limited edition Blu-ray release here. I also have it on DVD, but I absolutely loved this movie. This was
I saw the last
fantastic.
couple scenes.
Yeah, it was great. Great chemistry. Fun movie, and you might actually enjoy it. Like, I
might actually watch it.
Not a time period you necessarily like, but I think you might like it. Like, Her Father's really good in it. Peter O'Toole was fantastic, but yeah, Audrey Hepburn, it was one of the few movies of hers I'd never seen, and I loved it. Great movie.
So this one has a story. So a long time ago.
Yes, I did a video on this.
In a home far, far away.
Yeah.
We watched coming attractions for, I don't even know what the movie originally...
I think it was the Oni Chambara one. Or was it Dead Sushi?
I didn't watch Oni Chambara. I think it was Dead Sushi. There was an ad, and it was the most, like, off-the-wall, insane thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have to see this. And we never did. And it was like, I swear that was like when we first got married.
That was so long ago. It was a coming attraction.
It was a coming attraction. It wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
And it was just so off the wall, and I was like, we have to see this someday.
We just never...
Because it's just so ridiculous.
Never ran across it.
And you finally just ordered it recently, and we saw it, and my expectations for this were like... this is stupid.
I basically forced you to sit and watch it with me.
Yeah, like, when I wanted to see it, I didn't actually want to see it. I just wanted to, like, see the cover of it.
Curious, yeah.
But
what is this insanity? Yeah.
It
was funny.
It's not just funny. This was good movie. This is a really good movie. This is a great 2020 movie.
Gosh, yeah. The fun escapism of 2020 that you need.
This is called Robo Geisha. I thought this was going to be like the stupidest thing ever.
It made you top like
It's
three.
High. This is off the wall insanity. But it's a good story.
Insane,
but it actually is a good story, and it's just completely off the wall. But I love it.
It's an acid trip of a movie, but it's fun. It's good.
It's pretty crazy, but it's worth watching.
Yes.
If you can find this.
Yeah.
I don't like the rest of the things in this genre.
Yeah.
Because I've watched some other
things
in this genre that are not. Was it Tokyo Gore?
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
really, but this is good. You should watch
This is
this.
fun. Yeah, this was definitely really fun.
Geisha dance.
That's great.
I love it. I love it.
So we are down to my number 2, which was almost my number 1. If we
I thought I found the right thing, but I didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. This was one that I imported, a Japanese movie, imported the Hong Kong version, so I got the English subtitles and everything. Color Me True, a brilliant movie. Like, I absolutely love this, and I don't necessarily like a lot of very modern Japanese romance movies. Maybe some of the J-drama TV shows for the sappy. There's definitely, like, if you have to be super into the super sappy love story type of thing to like this, you had that's like, it is that type of drama,
my cup of
but it's
tea.
all about what's great about it is it's about the love of film and the power that movies can have. And it's a fantastic love story. I really, really enjoyed this. Again, it's just a super sappy romantic movie. You have to really like that kind of thing to enjoy it. You're going to hate it otherwise, but for me, I love this. This was a love letter to sappy romance. It was a love letter to people that love movies. I just thought this was great. This was almost my favorite of the year. Well, very close.
It's my second one.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
And totally different than Robo-Geisha.
Yeah, totally different.
So this was recommended to me at work. We trade movies a lot of the time, and we can experience different things. And this was recommended to me. I didn't necessarily know anything about it. I absolutely just was riveted by this. This is so good. This is just so good. And I know this is old, and everyone's gonna be like, "I already saw that," but it's so good. It's so good, and then I made him watch it. It's Shutter Island. I love this movie. This is just such an amazing movie. It's like,
It was good, yeah.
perfect. It's,
Well, and
it's
you've never
brilliant.
you've never seen a lot of Scorsese
Yeah,
stuff too,
I
so
really.
like, you weren't
and I
as
haven't seen like
familiar
a
with
ton
yeah.
of DiCaprio stuff,
Yeah.
which I guess is the same thing because that's his man.
That's his new man.
That's his man.
After De Niro started getting too old, now it's his new
So
man.
this is just it's fantastic. I love like the twists and the turns, and it's just every little detail. You have to watch this multiple times because you get more out of it, and it's just I love it. I love it.
Fun movie.
I love it.
My number 1, the one that narrowly beat out Color Me True, because I just had an absolute blast. I mean, especially this year, but in general, sometimes I just want to watch a movie to have fun. I just want to forget the outside world for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just
Especially
have
this
fun.
year.
Yeah, and I love this movie. First time I'd ever seen it. Again, as a big fan of the show I Love Lucy, and even like a Lucy show, whatever. But definitely I Love Lucy more than anything. The Long Long Trailer was my favorite movie of the year. I have not had this much fun watching a movie for the first time in
He
a long
left
time.
the entire
From start to
time.
finish. I absolutely love this movie. Yeah, I can't believe I never saw it before. I don't know how
I'd
I never
never
run
even
into
heard
it.
of it.
Because yeah, and your mom was.
My mom
her
knew
whole life
exactly
has
what.
been a big fan.
Well, she
Yeah,
knew exactly
yeah.
what that was. She
But
thought,
yeah, I'd never seen it, and big I Love Lucy collection, and I really enjoy it. I just never had seen this movie, and fantastic. I love every second of this. I mean, I want to watch it again.
it's my favorite this year. Is one that I hadn't seen. I actually had read the book a couple of years ago now, I think, and
Yeah.
I loved the book, and I thought it was very weird that it was based on a Western book because Studio Ghibli is like super Japanese and like nationally like pride in Japan, and that just seems really bizarre to me. I fell in love with this. This is just
This is
such a
great. It's a
beautiful
great
fairy
movie,
tale.
yeah.
It's Howl's Moving Castle. We have the pretty steel book that we're collecting. This is the original. I think this is the original cover,
Yes, yeah.
like the
yeah.
Japanese. But I love this so much. It's just such a fantastic movie. I can't decide what I like better. They're different, the book and the movie. They're
Yes.
very different feeling to them, but I enjoy them both for different reasons, and just a
Yeah.
fantastic.
Beautiful magical movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
very
mean, this is
magical.
one of those again. Like if this had been the first movie that first time seeing it this year, but I'd seen it many times before, this would have been on my list as well. Great movie, fantastic. So we watched a lot of movies this year, far more than we were talking about. Lots of other ones that almost made the cut, and then a whole bunch of crap. Because there were a whole bunch of movies we went through this year that were kind of on this big stack of curious, I want to see it, or like this looks so
One of the
ridiculous,
things
I gotta
about
see this.
reselling, I feel
We
like,
run
is that
across a lot of stuff.
we run across weird things and we're like, oh, we should check this out and see if
Yeah.
we like it.
Yeah. And sometimes they sit there forever, and it's like, we gotta watch this and see if it's something we like,
just
or
have
it
to
goes in the
watch it.
store. And there was a lot of crap, and some other things that were good, but were still like, what the heck did I just watch?
What is this?
A big mix of things. So one that was actually good, but was still a what the heck movie, was Brotherhood of the Wolf, which was a French movie that was fascinating because it kept flip-flopping through genres and tones. Some points it was like a martial arts movie, other times it was like a very European
It's the guy
drama.
from Iron Chef.
Yeah, is in there from the American Iron Chef,
Right,
not
right.
real Iron Chef. But at other times it was like just this crazy, like it was like one of your early 2000s,
Yeah, but sometimes. Only
But
sometimes.
it was such a
And we
check it out. It was a good movie.
We originally
Saw part of it
years
years ago.
part of it, I think, on Netflix.
For Netflix, when Netflix was
This is a
DVD,
really long movie.
When Netflix was DVD, yeah, it's
Or
like
at least it felt like a really long movie.
it is a very long movie. And there's a director's cut that's longer. It's 2.5 hours, and the director's cut I think is like 3 hours or something. But it was a long movie. I remember we got it back when Netflix was DVD in the mail, and I don't know why we put it on late at night one night, but both of us fell asleep.
Yeah.
So both of us had only woken up in the middle of the night to random scenes, and had like
And what we
vague
remembered
recollection.
was incorrect because we thought the monster was something and it wasn't.
Yeah, I remembered it like being a hyena or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a hyena.
And I remember the brothel scene. As I woke up for that, but that was about it. So like we were trying to figure out what this movie was for a long time. We finally figured out what the movie was and what it was. It's a very enjoyable movie. It's on here because
It's
it's very
interesting.
weird. It's
It's
a very
very
weird
weird.
movie. It
And
constantly
it shifts
changes
tones
tone.
like instantly.
But a good movie. And then there were some that we watched that were what the heck. There were terrible movies. For instance, we watched Meet the Spartans, which was
I had fun. I had so much
that
fun.
might have been the worst movie I've ever seen
had
in my entire
so
life.
much fun.
Even out of all those like scary movie, disaster movie, all those type of things, that is the
This
worst
was-
one of those.
this was
That was
fantastic.
that was
It was just-
that was torture. It was unbearable torture.
But it had your friend.
Yeah. It was just
But this one is terrifying.
But good. So you're gonna
This is-
we're back to good now.
This is terrifying.
But good.
Jim Henson's. I don't know. Like
The
when did
storyteller.
this? The storyteller.
Yeah.
Like when did this come out? This is so scary.
And that's a
So-
show. It's episodes.
These
not a
are
movie.
shows.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch some of these because they were scary. Like they disturbed me. Like legitimately disturbing.
They're good fairy tale adaptations. I love anything Jim Henson,
They're
especially.
really scary.
They do some really good like non-Muppet stuff too. Like great.
Some of
But-
these things are really scary. These are not for children.
Yeah. So a lot of things like that. The remake of Black Christmas, which was awful.
I don't
That
even
was
understand what would happen.
A lot of unwatchable crap, but some that was so bad it's good. Like some of those shark movies. I got Amanda a pack of like 10 different random
Yeah.
indie shark movies.
We'll
Which,
watch some awesome shark
again,
movie.
awful but funny awful. And one that we finally found a copy of. One of my childhood favorites.
This
again,
was not okay. This
again,
was not okay.
a terrible movie. Not a good movie by any stretch of the matter. It's a piece of crap. But it's a piece of crap that I always loved.
No.
Horrible.
No.
But you thought it was like fucking terrible.
I was traumatized.
This
from
is one of the best. Like you find those like it's not like The Room or whatever, where it's a bad movie, but you love it because it's just so much entertaining. Like,
No.
But
No.
Mac and Me.
No.
Yeah,
This is
It's
horrifying.
fantastic. Mac and Me
Horrifying.
is a horrendous ET ripoff done by McDonald's. Yeah, just that alone. I mean, it is bafflingly bad. It's awful.
It's
But for
scary
me,
though.
Enjoyably awful. Oh yeah, the parents especially are really terrifying.
It's so, and the end is just like what I don't even understand
yeah.
what happened at the end.
Everything I love when he tries to fix up the house and it's like a horror movie and he's staring through the wall and you have tools coming out of the walls and
If you
it's
change the
great.
music, it would be a horror movie.
Yeah, but anyway, this has become famous because Paul Rudd, whenever he goes on like night shows like Conan O'Brien or whatever, they go to show a clip of whatever movie he's there promoting and instead it's just a clip from Mac and Me. So that's part of what made this kind of get a resurgence. But as a kid, this was a movie that I would rent all the time. And I think the first time I ever...
What's wrong with you?
The first time I ever rented it, I think I picked it up because I've always loved E.T. And I remember going to the video store and picking it up because it was an E.T. ripoff and like watching it. It's an awful, awful movie. But I laugh every time I see it. It's just so funny to me. It's
not
so
funny.
bad.
It's not funny.
It's bad.
It's really scary.
It's funny. It's really funny. When they come out of the fire and they're still alive.
That's
and
terrifying.
they save the family by giving Coca-Cola. But yeah, this is such a
It's so scary.
it is such a good movie, a good bad movie, whatever you want to call it. It's awful movie. But again, we watched a lot this year that were not good movies, but sometimes they were just you couldn't watch it
Entertaining,
again
yeah.
bad. Other times they were fun. But yeah, so a whole bunch of that. And next year, we're gonna make an effort to watch a lot of movies again. Because we are going to be doing a lot of TV series watching, which is something we'll talk about in the future. So look out for that video. There's going to be sort of a theme with TV. series for
But
2021.
let us know movies that we should watch,
Yeah,
movies
so
that you watched.
what are your
that you
favorite
liked.
things, especially things that you found this year for the first time? Not necessarily movies that came out last year, but movies, again, like a lot of ours that you saw for the first time last year. I'd love to hear some of those first time experiences.